Okay, when you're ready, please introduce yourself, introduce the run, give me a countdown for the timer, and we'll get ourselves started.
All right. Hello, and I would say welcome back, everyone. As I was here running a few hours ago. So I'm Oleg. I'm a runner of mostly car games, and my favorites of them all, uh, as far as speedrunning goes, is The Crew. Quick introduction of the game. It's been um, developed and published by Ivory Tower in the first place in 2014, before the studio was purchased by Ubisoft. You probably have heard of The Crew recently, when it made, how to say, big headlines in March 2024, when Ubisoft closed the public, the live servers, which gave birth to the Stop Killing Games campaign. So this is the very game you're seeing here. So you might be wondering, huh? We can actually play The Crew again? Yes, we can. Thanks to an amazing work of decompiling and recreating a server emulator, which I'm playing on at the moment, by the Crew Unlimited community. So it's a quick summary of the story of The Crew, as a game. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to be quickly explaining the goal of the category. So it is not a classic any person or whatever reach an ending run. So we are not doing the campaign, let's say, like the any person's run does. Um, in the Crew, there are a lot of missions that you're seeing right now on the map in black, for those black pentagon icons. Those are named faction missions, and I will skip over explaining what perks they initially gave in the game. But some of them are really, really long and challenging, and the one that we're going to be doing today is Coast to Coast, which, like its name indicates, we're going to be driving from one side of the USA, which is being represented by this map, to the other. So the finish is about here, somewhere by me, and the route approximately does an arc route like this, approximately. So this is what we're going to do as fast as possible. Why did I choose this one? Are you gonna be asking me? It's because it is one of the most um, visually impressive ones, I would say, as it features quite a lot of shortcuts and even a couple tricks to save a bit of time. So it is really difficult, and I hope that I will be able to show you the entirety of the tricks on this route. So, all right, I'm ready to go in a few seconds. The start time will be so there will be a short cutscene, and then there will be a countdown in the middle of the screen. 3, 2, 1, go. It is when the go will be showed on the screen that the time will be for the start. And the finish will be kind of self-explanatory because I will be crossing a huge finish arc. It's gonna be easy to time at the end. All right, so I'm gonna be starting now. I said there are a lot of skips on the run. There are gonna be 3 in about 2 minutes at the beginning. So it really starts intense. 3, 2, 1, go. So As you can see at the bottom left, I have a nitro bar that I'm gonna be managing quite closely. The first skip already comes right here. If you take this rock with the correct angle, you get a launch, and then you want to bounce on the downslope here, and with enough speed, you actually get to skip over the wall there. It's really, really hard. I actually fail it more often than I actually, succeed. So I'm very happy I could get it. It's not over because we are now leaving the road. As you can see on the minimap at the bottom right, there are a bunch of hairpins. That's with the momentum and the speed we accumulated on that straight, we are simply cutting through. I didn't manage to keep the speed all the way to the bottom of that little climb here, but it's still a sizable time save. I don't know exactly how much. It really depends on how much speed you actually get. And because there's a wall, we're going to be maintaining, holding the B button to respawn and to respawn directly on the road. It's normally not supposed to work like this. Just in some places, the respawn is a little bit generous, and this is one of them. We're going to be abusing this a few more times in the run. And now yet another skip. We're going to be jumping over that big hill on the right side. And try to get as clean as a landing as possible. Hug the barrier, come back on the asphalt. I could have kept more speed, but this is, let's say, a safe way to make it and still gain a decent amount of time. I haven't spoken about traffic yet. It's, of course, RNG. So it's going to be an important factor for multiple reasons, and not only the bad ones. I'm going to be able to explain that a bit later, as this is a little bit of an intense technical part of the road. It's corner after corner. These two right-hander turns are going to be a little bit tricky. This one went okay. The second one should be a little bit easier. Alright, decent exit of this turn, and now we're going to be having a little bit of a... I wouldn't call it highway, but pretty much straight section. So this is the opportunity for me to explain why the traffic can be a good thing in the crew and how it's possible to use it. In fact, on this game, you're able to slipstream the NPC, so the traffic cars, as I'm doing right now. You're able to gain some speed from them. It is not the best place to show it, because traffic is definitely not massive here, but trust me, it is quite effective. I almost broke too early here. Now we're leaving the town of Fresno and climbing up all the way to the King Canyon. And there are a bunch of skips starting right here that I actually missed. That's a shame. I hit the first available tree. It is possible to jump all the way to... I'm going to show you where it's possible to land. Here. Possible to land here after a little bit of a rebound on the grass. It's the most difficult cut of the whole track, I believe. Oh, that is actually a shame. I never hit this wall. And it, of course, had to happen one day. There is one more little cut further up this road. Next one's gonna be after the bridge. Oh my gosh, lost control here. So we turn sharp right, jump over the wall, and we're good. A bit of an unlucky collision with the wall, but that's okay. Sometimes there are kind of assisted dodges with traffic, especially when the cars have either just spawned or were invisible to you. It's not very consistent, but you get sometimes helped like I just did here. Now we're driving on mostly a road this width for a few, I would say 40 seconds. A lot of fast sweeping turns. Oh, that's not great. Now we're past that long climb, and we're gonna be descending towards Las Vegas. Bit of a funny strat here. Instead of braking and taking the sharp turn, we're just jumping through everything, keeping the speed and the momentum into this very long, fast section. And I hit the one little rock that I should never hit if I take it too tight. It happens. I'm back on track, but that loses quite a bit of speed. So this is likely where we're gonna hit our top speed in the run. Which is basically the maximum the car can do. Which is about 420-ish, 424 something. Sharp right turn. Oh boy. Broke too late. I can normally take inside that pole. Now, this road is pretty tricky because there are so many jumps, and at this speed, the car is so difficult to control. And also, oh wow. Also, something I haven't mentioned yet. I'm playing with a little bit of a weird control setup. So there are two different control modes on this game. And I'm going to be continuing to explain this after this skip, because there's another cut coming up. We're going to be jumping off the cliff, essentially. So, shooting straight, then down the hill. I got a nice kick from the rock. This is pretty clean. So I essentially cut through a hairpin. So I was saying there are two different control types on the game that are gamepad and wheel. And well, I'm playing with a gamepad, so you would guess that I'm playing with gamepad control mode, but not quite. I'm actually using wheel mode for two reasons. The first being that it is much more sensitive, meaning reaction times are quite a bit better. It has its low sides, and especially controlling landings or brakings like this can be difficult. But it has a couple advantages that clearly overweigh the downside. The main one being that I'm using the all driving help mode, which actually gives the most grip and also the most traction control on the car. The problem is, if you use this setup on gamepad mode, you're also having your weird lane assists, like a weird lane assist that actually steers for you a little bit on straight roads like this, and more often than not, we don't want to stay in the center of lanes because traffic cars might be there. So quite often we are actually driving on the edge of the road. Oh, I almost lost it here. Or between lanes, which all driving help with gamepad control type will make it so much more difficult to do. And so this is the main reason for choosing wheel mode. The second one being that it's easier to turn in, and it's much easier to slide without having to use the handbrake, which is a significant advantage for most of the tight corners, and there are quite a few on this track, but not only this one. We've been through a section with a lot of little jumps and bumps that are hard to drive on confidently, I would say. It's usually advised to take some sort of margin of error, because if you just miss an apex, you're likely getting thrown off your line by all the bumps. Now it's a little bit smoother, a much wider road. We're actually driving now towards Santa Fe. A little bit too much of a slide here. And Santa Fe, which will be the place we're gonna have our next little cut. A rather easy one. And then I would say the hardest part of the run begins. Because there will be multiple skips to try to do as clean as possible, because they help saving so much time. Sometimes there's blind traffic here. I would not even say sometimes, I would rather say often. Not the case today. Too late on the brakes, but it's not too bad. You're gonna say, or maybe not see, it takes a huge collision to actually trigger the crash cam on this game. And this is gonna be exploitable later in the run, because we're gonna be able to exploit a few wall rides with quite violent contact with the wall, and it's still going to work decent. I actually hit the brakes before this little bump, because otherwise I'm just sent straight into the rocks. Alright, now check the GPS. There's a suggested road. I'm not gonna take this path. I'm just gonna do this. And this landing can be difficult because of the sidewalk. I had either too much or not enough speed to have it clean. Now this is a very dangerous road. There's a huge jump and I will need to shoot left immediately. And I'm lucky there was not too much badly positioned traffic over there. Alright. A little bit of rest. It's not gonna last for long. But yeah, this road is the opportunity for me to breathe a little bit. There's normally not much happening here. A few fast corners to drive as clean as possible, like this. It's actually on full throttle here. I hit the brakes a little bit before this one. This is a very nice exit. Another big jump. I'm gonna stay in the middle of the road, so that if there's any car, I have a chance to judge it, but I actually was a bit center right. I hit the car on the landing. This is essentially RNG. There's not much I can do to anticipate that. Other possibility would have been to hug as far left as possible, but on this one you just have to pray, essentially. Let's call it a random encounter, as we would name it on RPGs, for example. There's just not much you can do to dodge it. Okay. I almost set me off. And now it's just getting really tricky. I actually said the hardest part of the run might not be the hardest, but is the costliest part to fail, I would say. Because the skip that is coming up saves a ton of time. Oh my. Wow. Okay, saved it. We're alive, we're alive. So the skip is here. Woohoo! That was close to hitting the barrier. It's not gonna be optimal, but it's gonna be better than nothing. I actually did not have the speed to cross, so that's terrible. So now you're gonna see how much time or how much of the road I could have saved by making this cut. So all of this I don't have to drive normally. All of this. And I would have landed back here with less speed, but still here. So that's, I don't know if it's 15 seconds or if it's more than 15 seconds, but it's a sizable time save. It's actually common that something goes wrong on this one, but it's rare that I completely fail to bonk over the rocks. Still a rare occurrence for it to just not bonk over. But I like the speed because I had to save myself from crashing earlier, which is always a problem. Alright, next cut is now on the right hand side. I'm going to cut through the grass after this turn with a little bit of boost. I'm gonna aim about here. And I made it past, but I lost all the speed, so it's a little bit of a half success, I would say. It's a really, really tight skip. Not touching is ideal. Touching and still keeping the speed is okay. There's another possible skip. Here it's possible to cut through the grass, but I just didn't do it. It doesn't save much time, and it costs a lot if you fail. So I didn't do this one. And now we're approaching the longest highway section of this run. Oof. Almost spun out here. And there's another mechanic I have to explain to you. And it concerns the nitro. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Pass this jump without any damage. All these bumps are pretty tricky. So now, as you can see, I let the nitro gauge refill entirely. And now I'm pumping it little by little by little by little, instead of fully depleting. Why do I do this? It's because every time you use nitro, when the bars fall, you get a little extra boost. So it is faster once you have your top speed or close to your top speed. It is just faster to do nitro tapping instead of leaving the gauge close to empty. I'm gonna use a bit of it because we're close to a braking zone, and anyway I'm not gonna be using nitro. Much from here to the corner. I've seen better exits, much better exits. Actually, a bit of a slide. So to give a proper idea of how much time nitro tapping allows to save, on the most, say the fastest track, fastest mission, which is Highway Child, it it saves probably 1 second every minute of highway drive. To count that there's at least 25 minutes of pure highway driving and optimizing lines and slipstream and all that. You can guesstimate how much time you save in total, and it's quite a big amount. If you don't do this, you're gonna be losing a lot of time on these fast sections. Alright, we dodged the car on the perfect line. We're not gonna turn right here, we're gonna turn right here instead. Okay. Was not perfect, but still decent. Might be thinking that the right lane is shortest, but we need to stay on the right hand side. And both ways are separated, as you can see. Plus, because traffic is on our way, it's driving our way, we are also taking advantage of slipstream. So if you combine natural tapping and taking as much slipstream from the traffic as you can do, you actually save a sizable amount of time on highways. Hey, I'm holding 410, which I normally wouldn't. Oh, it's about to rain. So weather is RNG, and you never want rain, but you even less want it here. So rain, well, slightly reduces grip and traction. That's self-explanatory. It's not the end of the world, though. You can still do things, you can still be fast, but if I wanted to beat my world record, I would rather have a completely dry run. Looks like it stopped raining, but we might actually catch another pocket of rain further up the road. So I'm not gonna be shouting victory too soon on the weather side. Okay, clean turn. And now we are soon going to take advantage of wall rides. Because wall rides are most easily done with this type of walls. And so we're going to be taking advantage of the physics of these walls. Starting from not here, but the corner after. This one. Gonna be our first wall ride. Like this. Decently executed. It is not always faster, but it's so much safer that it's worth doing it. Second wall ride. This was really good. I bet a lot any speed. You need to like put your car most at a 45-degree angle, so you need to kind of slide without using any handbrake or whatever. And this is where the wheel mode is an advantage. It's so much easier to pull this off. And now rain is back, so we are happy people right now. Okay, this is by far the best, the least worst spot to get rain, so I'm not gonna complain. Alright. Looks like it stopped again. Am I a lucky boy? Could be. This is probably the second longest highway section, maybe actually the longest. And there's gonna be another cut pretty soon. And then we're gonna be done with highway driving as we approach Florida. Okay, this is coming up in about 40 seconds, I would say. Maybe even less. It's actually even less. Just a little bit here. All the speed. It's gonna be on the left side. Here. Be jumping straight here. And respawn. We actually caught the checkpoint airborne, which is not common. It gets a little further respawn if you catch a checkpoint airborne. Whereas if you still have the checkpoint to pass, you will respawn before it. Here I pretty much respawned past it. So this was pretty good. It's possible to actually land perfectly on the road, but it's so difficult and it's so penalizing if you miss on the short side that you don't quite want to take those risks. Uh-oh. Okay. Got away with it. Okay, so the road looks wet. I can promise you it's dry. It behaves like dry right now. So it's good news, because this is a very technical drive here. One of my favorite roads, probably on the game. But yeah, driven smoothly, you can save a bit of time, and it's quite nice to see. Ah, car surprised
is
me a
in
little
the
bit.
chat asking how the run's doing.
Sorry?
Claire Delalen's in the chat asking how the run's doing.
The run's going okay. Of course, if I compare to my PB, which has some of the stupidest best starts I've ever seen or had in practice, I actually did my record in practice, so unrecorded was a T-Rust drive. If I compare to that one, if I compare to that one, it's 44 seconds behind at the moment, which, given what I missed or had bad luck on, is very decent. So yeah, I would give it an A or A minus mark at the moment. It's going pretty nice.
Excellent. Well, I hope that answers your question, Claire Delalen.
Second half is actually pretty good.
Just as a reminder, as we are coming up to the end of this run, well, probably in a bit, with 6 checkpoints to go.
Indeed.
There is a poll for the next run, the Sonic Adventures DX Gamma Story Blitz route by Water Blitz The Eggman Lucky Robot of the Day. Currently, Epsilon Orange is winning that poll with £16 and 10 pence donated towards it. Zeta Purple is on £10, a Restaurant Zero. If you'd like to donate to a particular option on that poll, then please be sure to do so. Exclamation mark donate in the chat if you're on Twitch. There's a link in the description if you're on YouTube, and there's links all across the place to get your donations in. So please be sure to make sure to get those donations in and add the poll option of your choice in there as well.
Ooh, pretty nice. This part is scary. There are gonna be 4 jumps on those small bridges in a row. It's easy to hit traffic here. I'm gonna hold the yellow line as much as possible, or any lane that I see is free. Okay. It can be worse. Sometimes traffic's very dense over there. Oh, traffic disappeared. It sometimes happens. Thank you very much. We're actually 1 minute away from the finish. Should have gone to the left side, I think. Yeah, probably. Now this is tricky. Need to slow down because otherwise you just go airborne there. A bit of a left-right here. Oof. Bit weird. Sometimes traffic can come from the left, from the streets on the left side. Especially here. Not this time. And the finish line is right ahead of us. And time. So we drove through the entire map. So from North LA to Miami in 38:16 on my timer. Which is probably the time you're having as well.
38:16 on my side.
Yep. Which for
So,
reference is it's about it's 39 seconds behind my record, which is also a record for this mission. Well, the in-game time is going to be slightly different. Why? Because anytime I trigger the crash cam, the little black screen time is counted out. So I probably spent 1 second on the black screen basically, and since it's not RTA but IGT, it is taken into account for the leaderboards, then it would be this time. That's the official one, but that's detail to know if you want to run on the crew. It was an honor to be invited to run this game that definitely has speedrun potential, and even more so now that since the game has been revived and the server emulator has been existing, it is now possible to create new saves and so do a proper any percent new game run. It is very long on this game. It's between 4 and 8 hours depending on the rule set, and being allowed to fast travel or not. But one of the most how to say intense categories that I could propose on this game if you want to run, let's say, a full game run, is the any% NG+, which is very intense. There's a ton of tricks and little knowledge to get over every mission from the story missions. There are about 60 or 65 of them. Maybe one day we'll have the chance to introduce it to you on this community or another one.
Well,
Voila.
if you submit it to InstaSpeedathon, there's a chance it might be at the one you submit it to. So you never know at InstaSpeedathon. We like to see new and exciting and different things. So you never know. Maybe you can submit it at InstaSpeedathon.
I
One of
will. I
these
will
days.
definitely. I will definitely submit it again when I derust it entirely, because it's a far more. I mean, it's really a true uh, long, difficult speedrun when it comes to knowledge and practice, compared to faction missions where there are mostly spots that you need to remember what to do on. It's easier to practice. Uh, but voila,
Excellent.
I will probably submit it sometime soon. Who knows?
We'll
and
see.
uh,
We shall see.
and I would end by saying that at the moment I'm learning the Need for Speed Most Wanted any% runs. I'm starting with the Most Wanted 2012 ones. Then I'll be also trying the original. So that's for you to know. If you want to follow me in
No
this
problem.
adventure.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for the crew factions missions coast to coast run. It was very exciting. Again, final time on my end 38:16. We are now going to make our way back to the intermission screen very briefly because we are now going to go to our next run. The third to last run. So we've got 3 runs left today. The next run is going to be the Sonic Adventures DX Gamma Story Glitch Route run. There is a poll for that run. The Eggman Lucky Robot of the Day poll. If you would like to donate to that, then please do so by going to !donate in the chat on Twitch. There's a link in the description on YouTube. There's links on the pinned chat comments on Twitch and on YouTube as well, which will take you to the donation page with a link to the donation page on them. Epsilon Orange is currently the winning poll option on there. If you'd like to see something else win, you have a very small amount of time to go and donate to that poll because it is going to be the next run. And I'm not sure when the poll ends, so we'll have to assume that it's going to be at the start of the run, and then we'll see what happens later on. But if you would like to see a different poll option win, then be sure to put your donations towards the Eggman Lucky Robot of the Day that you'd like to see. Again, Epsilon Orange, £16.10. That is currently the winning option, with Zeta Purple very close behind on £10, and then the rest are on 0. So if you'd like to see a different option, or if you would like to strengthen Epsilon Orange, then by all means donate to any option you wish. In that case, we will say goodbye to OnlyLink8. Thank you very much for the run. We will see you hopefully again very soon. Have you got any final things you'd like to say before we finish?
I think I've said it all. Once again, massive thanks to the InstaSpeedathon team for the organization and for inviting me to run. And also a shout out to both the Stop Killing Games campaign that started soon after the 31st of March 2024, which is the date this game's live servers closed, and also to the Crew Unlimited community that has done one of the most impressive, decompiling and reviving efforts that have ever been done for a game. So shout out to them.
Well, thank you very much for the run, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.